All right, so I'm doing a bike swap with Synergist. He's gonna take the R1 out, and I'm gonna take out his fully built R6. I don't know too much about the bike besides the obvious, which is the crazy wrap, all the titanium, and most of the really high quality parts it has on it. I know it's got a fully built super sport engine in it that makes around 140 at the wheel on pump. That figure goes up when you put it on race gas, but gas is expensive right now, so we're gonna stick to the pump gas stuff. I've been wanting to swap bikes with him for a really long time. He's been thinking about getting an R1, or at least I've been trying to convince him to get an R1. It's just, I guess it's hard to justify when you have an R6 this built. I haven't ridden an R6 literally since like 2014, 2015 when I had mine. And my bike was completely stock. This bike is probably one of the most built, if not the most built R6 that still rides around on the streets. It's going to be majorly different from the R1, having all the bottom end and mid-range that that bike has. You're really gonna have to rev this thing. But first things first. Much quieter than the R1, but still sounds really damn good. He's got the upgraded Brembo brakes on here, billet master, the Woodcraft zero offset clip-ons, Olin steering stabilizer, and a ton of titanium hardware. I mean, I think every bolt on this bike that you can see is titanium. Everything. Even the stuff that mounts on the fairings, all titanium. All his caliper bolts. I have some, but nothing like this thing. Oh, I found bolts that weren't titanium. Now Brandon's gonna have to change them. So I should probably, whoa! It's so low. Okay, so first thing I notice, my bike is raised, so it's a little bit more. My bike is raised, definitely in comparison to this thing. It's so quiet. All right, ready? Where's his grab at? Whoa, all the way at the top. That's weird. I wish I could move his lever down far enough because my little fingers my fingers barely reach enough to get this thing. Yeah, my bike's a little bit higher than yours. All right. Oh my gosh. I like the way the quick shifter works. Mine feels like it drags into gear. This one definitely you can feel the blip. It's so smooth. Nice. This thing screamed. First impression, obviously, going from one of the Torque Gear 1000s to one of the 600s that you really have to rev to get into the power band is that there's no mid-range on this thing. But up top, when you really get it screaming, man, it starts to giddy up. And the sound is just amazing. I mean, at 16.5, I think that's what his bike revs out to. Man, I really like the way the auto blipper feels too. Very smooth. Where are we going? Man, I really like the way way this thing makes its power. It's so linear. You really feel in control of the bike. That thing sounds so nasty. To be honest with you, besides the clip-on geometry being crazy different, they really, it feels to me like very similar. Your bike definitely tips in a little bit quicker than mine, but like as far as the transition goes and like how it feels going down the road, it feels very similar to the R1. Suspension setup is definitely the same as mine, really stiff. Set up for the track, you can just feel it. But you know, it's not something I mind too much. Oh, it's so smooth on its side. Oh my god, the pop out of this thing is crazy. Yeah, this thing definitely feels lighter on its toes, you can just tell, especially when it's on the side of the tire. Like your bike wants to tip in, mine really doesn't feel like it wants to do that. I remember this one. I can do it in first. Like you said, the R1 is always trying to kill you, bro. This thing is like, if it's like you want to work with it, fine. Kill me. Oh, are we stopping? Oh my god, you almost killed me? I guess. Jesus Christ! Jesus Christ! You almost broke my bike! Dude, he almost clapped me. It's, you know what's crazy is it's so much smoother than the R1. The R1 does not feel like this bike does. That bike is just brutal. It's just brutal. So I believe this thing has a fully built engine in it. It makes around 140 wheel on pump gas. On race gas it makes about 152, which is probably nutty for a bike that weighs this little. The center of gravity, honestly, it feels so similar to the R1. I think that's why it's like easy for me to just get on this bike and almost ride it the same, because it does feel very similar. Like if the clip-ons were the exact same way, it feels identical, really. It's the engine that's completely different. I didn't get to lean it too far over, but this thing feels much more stable on the side of its tire. I almost can't even tell that this thing's idling sometimes. So it's a 2020 Yamaha R6. Built engine. I mean, every possible bolt-on you could think of besides this is the front suspension, which he's getting done, but he's got an Öhlins stabilizer, Öhlins TTX rear shock. He's got the nice attack rear sets like I have on my R1, so very familiar feeling there. The layout of this cockpit is crazy though. See all the titanium and all the race parts, the billet triple. Oh, I have a mirror now. Oh my god! You feel it in your chest like a gunshot. I could see myself having a lot of fun on one of these bikes. I haven't ridden an R6 since I had a 2012 model, and I owned that in like 2014, 2015. And my bike was bone stock, you know, I didn't even have a tune on it or anything, so it just really wasn't engaging for me. And then I started to get into the thumpier bikes. I got my RSV4. My dad had a 999R, and I got to ride that thing around, and I just kind of fell in love with like the idea of having a brutally torquey bike. And you know, I've had one ever since, really. But at the same time, I can find a true appreciation for the way this thing makes its power, because I could probably put the power down a lot better than I could. I was just complaining on track about how the R1 is so brutal. It's really hard to feel okay gassing it out of the corners because the torque is just there. It's just there instantly. So, I mean, you know, you can make that tire slip like it's nothing. So stable, it just blows my mind. I love it. I feel like I don't have to work with it. It just does what you want it to do. So we just got back from the ride. Before my camera died, I was saying I've ridden a lot of bikes, a lot of different CC ranges from 600s to 1000s, and you really have to categorize a bike by how it rides. I don't care about the power. Got him! Man, I just got to give you props, dude. This thing is set up so beautifully. If you don't already know who Synergist is on Instagram, I will go ahead and link his channel and Instagram down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Smash the like button. Please, please, please turn on the bell for notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.